Sometimes life hits us with changes we don't expect, and embracing them can be hard. For Mason Cox, a 6'11" kid from Dallas, Texas, life changes hit him for the better not just once, but twice in his college career. Mason came to Oklahoma State University with no athletic ambition at all, even though his brother was a walk-on on the basketball team. But little did he know that playing basketball would begin to change his life.
No, I never touched basketball. First official game with referees and stuff was versus Texas Tech, at Texas Tech. It's the first game I've ever played in. It's a bit different.
Mason followed in his brother's footsteps and walked onto the basketball team. But he could have never predicted that basketball would be the easier transition compared to his next opportunity, which came toward the end of his career on the hardwood.
I guess there was a guy who recruits for the AFL and was watching the game and heard my story and asked our media person at the time if I would be interested in going to Los Angeles to play or to try out at a combine for AFL. And
wait, AFL? What's that? Prior to the Australian Football Combine, Mason accepted a job as a chemical engineer for ExxonMobil. But who knew one weekend in Los Angeles could change his whole life plan? This was not only Mason's second time being recruited for a sport he had never played, but this time he had no clue what it even was.
Nah, so I had no idea. I'd never seen it before they contacted me, and then did a bit of research, bit of YouTube, just checking out videos and stuff, and then I didn't really know anything about it coming over here and was just completely foreign to the whole thing.
After moving almost 9,000 miles away from home, Australian football is not the only new thing here for Mason. He's also had to adjust to the different lifestyle and culture here in Melbourne, Australia.
They're really relaxed out here, so it's multicultural here, so there's a lot of different cultures that come in and kind of have a southern, kind of Oklahoma State-esque feel where everyone's family and everyone helps each other out. Mason has embraced the changes and opportunities in his life with open arms, but he's still adjusting to the everyday life of a professional Australian football player. You always just think of yourself as a normal person, and you always want to be treated like that, but it's just odd, like to be halfway around the world and people recognize you. Mason describes AFL as a mix of mini athletics, which is why he incorporates techniques from past sports when he plays footy. Sometimes I just do stuff that's really random, just natural, just from soccer or basketball, and people kind of look at me different, but it's just little things that's just different from other players that come into the way I play footy. Most players start training as young as possible in order to make it to the AFL, but for Mason, his debut came on Anzac Day after less than 2 years of training. There's probably 80,000 people in the crowd. Pretty daunting, second biggest game out of the whole year as far as crowd attendance, and it's very meaningful for Aussies here. It's a big day for them. So to be able to walk out on the MCG and be a part of that was really cool.
Can you believe an American in his first game has just kicked the first goal on Anzac Day?
It didn't happen.
No.
That didn't happen.
After all the hype following Mason's AFL debut, Collingwood head coach Nathan Buckley says he expects big things with Mason and for the future of the sport.
Well, he's been a trailblazer for the US, and we saw it with Jimmy Steins with the Irish quite a while ago now, and we're getting Sudanese players. The multiculturalism in the game is great to see. He's got a talent there that we want to see if we can maximise, and Coxie's working hard to do that. I'll play AFL as long as they give me contracts, I think, at this point. So I'm enjoying my time here. It's been really great. So at this point, if I can extend this as long as possible, I'm going to try and do it. After living now in Australia for 2 years, he's applying for citizenship and sees several years of footy ahead. For the Poke Report, I'm Amelia Henderson.